Hello, my gigabytes, and welcome to part two of What If All Might was Deku's father. Where we left off, I left you on a cliffhanger and not telling you what he got from that, his vigilante work. If you're wondering how he did vigilante work, he was, if I'm not mistaken, he was around 11 years old when he did it. He's also he also didn't do much vigilante work. He just like went down alleys, like very shady alleys, so he can stop stuff if he comes across it. He didn't really do it that well. He just walked down very dark and shady alleys just to see if someone will try to attack him and stuff. Then he will stop them from hurting themselves. Doing that stuff. And when I said that he got one that he really, really liked. He got a quirk that he really, 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 really fucking liked. Well, he kind of ran into Aizawa, Eraserhead, on one of his, little illegal vigilante sprees, where he ran into a drug cartel, like drug deal going on, and Aizawa just so happens to be the one that was already following them, so he was already there at the scene. So he's like, ooh, 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 oh, looks like there's a Racerhead. Hmm. What should I do? Should I continue on what I was doing, or can I just? Then he just thinks, it's like, wait, you know what? I'll just do it. Um, he also has gained an ability, a camouflage ability. I'd say it's like a predator, like the predators, or like Miles Morales' cloaking. Yeah, yeah, it's similar to that, where in the sense that he is pretty much completely and utterly undetectable through sight, but you can still see like other things like his heat signature and all that. So he literally just like cloaks himself and then jumps on top of the roof where he's always, and just uses one of his other quirks. It's energy siphon, which allows him to copy quirks. He has to siphon part of someone's energy, so his body can take that part of the energy and repurpose it to make that quirk his. Since it's a stockpile of energy. So of course they're going to, if it starts to copy quirks, it's going to take that energy and just repurpose it. Oh, and if you're wondering, this is young Toshinori. This is what his not buff form looks. His small might form before the injury. Before he goes buff, before he goes in his might form. I was wondering if you could understand what I was saying in the last part, so I just thought, oh, maybe I should just get a image of young Toshinori. This is what Inko saw when they met. He looks like an All Might fanboy until he told her that he is All Might. So she's like, "Oh, makes sense." Not really that surprising. Okay, back with anime. Let's start with um Izuku at um middle school. At the end of the day, it's after school activities. If you're wondering, he is part of the student council just because he can. Just because he can, it's not really hindering him. He's like the smartest. Him and Momo are the smartest people in their class in that grade. So it's like, yeah, and everyone knows he's a year older. They keep asking him, "What did you do? Why are you a year older?" And so on and so forth. They're like confused on why he's older, but he just says, uh, did some homeschooling, didn't really want to. Then mom said, I need to go get to make some friends my age, since he's already studying for college level. Momo is on high school at the moment. He's on college, so yeah. Let's see, where should I start? Let's since this is not he's not going to the same middle school as um Katsuki. Let's go over to Katsuki's point of view. Uh, did I already do this? I might have already did it. So, I'm just going to skip it and go to the 10 months training. For the 10 months training, Izuku, Momo, Uraraka, Ida, Shoto, who else? Who else would do it? I'd say Koda. Is it his name's Koda? Correct. Okay, his name is Koji Koda. Okay, so I was correct. It is Koda. Anyway, the guy with the Anna voice. I'd say they met him a little bit, trying to talk to animals, trying to train his quirk a little bit. Let's see. They all meet up. They all meet. They meet at the place. They find him there. They talk with him and ask him if he wants to join them in training. He frankly just says, "If you can help me, like train, then I gladly accept." You know, he was like stuttering. He's still shy in this. I can't. I really can't really change it. I'm just talking normally because I don't want to stuttering. You know. Um. Let's continue on with 5 months into the training. All of them are quite strong. Todoroki's already found out that he can make that absolute zero move with his fire and ice. He's already figured out he can do that. Izuku, if you're wondering, yes, has already copied Todoroki's half and half. But instead of being a emitter, it's a transformation. It's like he can still use different quirks and his at the same time. So his copying mutation and emitter changes to transformation type quirks, if you understand that. Let's see. Let's see. While they're training, someone comes up and asks if she can train with them. They start talking for a little bit. Everyone starts talking with her. She seems nice, so they're like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Mm, she really hits it off with Deku though, for some odd reason. Her and Izuku hits it off really, really well. Like they are already practically good friends at the moment, and they've only known each other for what, a few hours. So yeah, that's surprising. Let's head to the end of the 10 months. Everyone's gotten a lot stronger. Um, Momo has realized that she needs a specific diet to you know, help with her um quirk, like help her have her quirk ready at any time because her little or diet that she's on currently ain't going to help her because she's with Izuku. She's training with Izuku, so Izuku can give her insight, and everyone else can give her insight, and they can vice versa. Give insight on each other's powers and how it would work. Um, so Momo's already asked her parents to start a specific diet for her so she can help with her quirk. It's not really that bad. She just has to. She just gets a little chubby. She gets a little baby fat on her. Yeah, yeah. I mean, she still looks good. She's still gonna look damn good. Can't change that. Um, I'd say that this. If you're wondering who this mystery woman is, I'll tell you that on the entrance exam. Let's just say that Ida has made a pseudo reciprocal burst. I'd say a pseudo because it's not exactly reciprocal burst. Uh, it's more like it's not a burst. It's more like constant speed. But if you really want to, he can just let it off in one burst of speed. So it's a pseudo reciprocal burst, but he uses it as just his base speed now. Let's see. That's Momo and Ida done. Let's go with Todoroki. Oh, I already said Todoroki. He's already created that. He also figured out that he can create constructs with his ice and fire to mold them to what he suits. Then he's also made a absolute zero constructs where he made a javelin out of both the ice and fire, which was fucking insane. Um, mm, let's see. Oh, if you're wondering if Toya Dobby is in this. Yes, he's in this because never wasn't an asshole. Isn't an asshole in this. So yes, Toya is still around, and he occasionally joins in. Um, let's do. Let's see. I said Momo, Todoroki, Ida. Okay, let's skip. Let's go to Uchako right now. Uchako. Let's say has gotten a better handle on her quirk. Izuku's already given her the idea of having gloves that have a few fingers like covered. Like it's not completely fingerless gloves, but it's what are they called? Artist gloves. You know those artist gloves? If you just look up artist gloves, you know what I'm talking about. It covers a few fingers, but there's still like 3 or 4 fingers out, so she can still touch stuff without having to worry of activating her quirk. She's also got the hang of her motion sickness from using her quirk. It's not as bad. She gets a little dizzy, but she's not gonna completely be out of commission after she vomits. So she's got a good handle on that. She's also figured out that she can also control gravity to a certain degree, like make stuff lighter or heavier. It's not just zero gravity. She can literally just control the gravity of a certain object, which she uses quite handily. Which she created Meteor Impact. She created a move called Meteor Impact, which is basically she just makes a lot of things float up into space. Like I'd say a few like I say like 5 meters off the ground. Um, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 15, 17 feet off the ground. So yeah, it's pretty high. Then she just changes her quirk on them, making it not zero gravity, but I'd say at least 2 times gravity on the objects, making them come down crashing down fast as hell. I mean, she's got enough control over it so that she can literally release it just before the impact. So it's not constantly having 2 times gravity on them, so it doesn't kill them. It's just gonna knock them the fuck out. Um, Back on to let's see. Ida, Todoroki, Uraraka. Who else? Who else did I say? Doing the training. I'd say Katsuki joins in a few times when Mitsuki visits Inko, so they already met Katsuki, so yeah, they're not going to meet him for the first time. Um, they met him in the first time for like the second month, and then they started training off and on again since he asked Mitsuki if he could stay so he could train with Izuku and his friends. Mitsuki allowed this and just went back to Masaru. They did their fun time. They had a fun time trying to make another kid. Yeah, they tried to make another kid. And yes, I'm giving Bakugo a sibling, a younger sibling in this. Um, who else did I say? Oh yeah, the mystery girl. I'd say she just trained her body and mm, okay, I need to think. I need to think. Um, Give me a moment. I should tell you, it's pretty much the end of the 10 month. They've already got to know each other a lot better. Momo, Oraka, and Todoroki has art and Shoto, Shota. Now Shoto. Jesus fucking Christ. Shoto Todoroki has also made a move on uh Izuku. And if you're wondering, wait, isn't Shoto a guy? No, fuck no. She's a she in this. I know I said he, but this is a fucking surprise. Hello? Of course it's going to be a fucking surprise. I didn't tell you this. I just referred to him as he in the last part. So, no, it's not a he anymore. It's a she. Yeah, I'm retconning that shit. Because she always dresses up like a boy and acts like a boy. Plus, she's not really developed much, so well, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to mistake her for a guy, especially since she's kind of brooding most of the time. Like, even though she's not like she don't have those daddy issues from Endeavor, there's still those there's still that brooding nature of hers, like that cold plus that fiery temper. Yeah, yeah, that combination doesn't really fit well for a girl, but it does make it interesting. Everyone was the funniest thing is everyone was shocked when they heard Shota was a girl. It's like what? What? Because she likes to be she explained to them that she likes to be a boy, so no one like looks down on her because that's still a thing. There's still gonna be those that are sexist against the females in this world and any world. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. If there any universe, there's going to be some sexism from women to men and from men to women. It's going to happen. You can't stop it. I definitely can't because it's a what if. I'm trying to make this realistic here. Slightly realistic, grounded. Let's just say grounded. It's not completely realistic because it's fucking anime. That shit ain't realistic. Realistic. Jesus Christ! I'm fumbling over my words because I'm talking too fast. Jesus fucking Christ. Um. Uh. mm, let's go to the entrance exam of 1A. Momo and Todoroki already has their recommendations. They're like taking the recommendation. They wanted to stop taking they wanted not to take the recommendation so they can be with their one true love Izuku. But he said, why decline it? That's a special offer. Why not take it? It's good. It's very good. He's did they're like, but what about you? He's like, nah, I don't need it. And then they're like, well, we don't need it either. Having that like both of them just yelling at him, and then he's like, hey, calm down, calm down. You have it, so take it. It's not that big of a deal. You're going to get in either way, so it doesn't really matter what way you get in. It's not really that big of a deal. No matter which way you look at it, you're going to get in. Which promptly gives both girls a blush. And then here comes Ochako. And this, her personality is similar to what it is in canon, but if I remember correctly, there was a what if that I saw from Last of Us 21. What if Deku was the reincarnation of Broly, and her and Uraraka in that has a, let's just say, very, how should I say this, a very top feel to her, like she's going to be in charge in the relationship and in bed. You know what I mean. Yeah. Let's continue on with the entrance exam. Oh wait, I didn't tell you what I was talking about with them yelling at each other. Well, Rocket comes in from behind Izuku, wraps her arms around his neck. He's sitting down, by the way, and so are the other two girls. Ochako just plants a kiss right on his cheek, and then sticks her tongue at the other two. Is like, I got to him first, which promptly makes the girls glare at Uraraka. And then here comes Ida walking in the front door, seeing them at the living room, just like face palms, like, oh my god, Midoriya, what did you get yourself into? While they're all inside the house, inside the Midoriya residence, they hear the door opening once again. Izuku, being slightly, I'd say, more confident, asks one of the maids to see who it is. He doesn't get up because he's literally has one girl on his shoulder above him, like on his head, and then the other two flanking on each side of him. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this a little longer. He don't give a fuck. He don't give no fuck. He don't give no fuck. Oh yeah, yeah. He don't give no fuck who it is. He's just going to enjoy the feeling that he has right on on all sides of him right now. I say all sides, but it's just his north, south, his north, his west, and his east. So yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the maid just comes running in and says the master of the household has finally arrived. Izuku, being concerned, is like, he orders the maid to call his mom and tell him that dad's home. And tell her that dad's home. And then he just gets up. He just ignores the the pleads from the girls that were just beside him. He's going to finally meet his father. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. He walks up to the front door and sees Small Might. Not this Small Might, the Small Might in canon. I'd say not Small Might, but it looks like his younger days, but a lot skinnier, slightly less muscle. But his scar isn't as bad, but it still hurts like hell. He still lost a kidney. His respiratory system, his lung, isn't missing. It's just his liver. He just stabbed through his liver and a few other uh, veins and stuff. He's injured, but he's still kicking. Now let's go. Let's make a flashback to Toshinori talking with Night Eye about what he plans on doing since he's now injured and now he can't really do hero work that often anymore. Toshinori, what do you plan on doing? You can't endanger your family like this by going back. It's outrageous. You can't do that. Think about it. What if he's still alive? Toshinori then replies, if he's still alive after what I done to him, then, and frankly, I have to pass one for all down to the next generation so that they can finally finish off him for good. Remind you, it still hurts like hell. Damn it. Lucky bastard got a lucky shot off. He's gritting his teeth like hard because he's still bleeding. He's like in the hospital bleeding out right now. The recovery girl is just on the side trying to patch him up, trying to give him like some anesthesia and stuff, trying to soothe the pain at least a little bit because she knows none of her kisses can help him with this. Um, Toshinori then says to Night Eye that I'm going back to my family. I have not seen them in over 14, 15 years. And I missed so many of my son's birthdays because I wanted to protect them. And now that he is out of commission, then I can be with them. Night Eye says, no, you can't. You can't. You cannot do that. You're putting them in danger. Try and stop me. Try and stop me. I am going. I've already made up my mind. Long ago. Once I put him out of commission for a while, I'm going back to Japan to be with my family. To see my son again. And a flashback. Well, when Izuku walks into the like main entrance, he sees Toshinori in his Small Might form. He's not as bad as like I said, but he still looks pretty like bad. Then Izuku just runs to him and hugs him to see if he's all right. Like he's happy to see his father finally. I mean, come on, it's his father's All Might. And Inko's already explained to him several times that he's not around because he wants them to be safe until he finishes his duty of finishing off one for all for one. Yeah, all for one. Um, um, Toshinori hugs his son back and says, "I'm sorry, I missed all 15 years of your life." While hugging Izuku tightly, Izuku then says, "Don't worry, Dad. I grew up just fine. I'm glad you're back." And all that. And just starts hugging. Izuku kind of hugs it a little too tight. and starts to agitate All Might's injury. And he's like, hey, I'm injured here. Izuku still hugs, is still hugging him, is not letting go. And then Inko just comes busting through the doors like, well, look who the cat dragged in. And just runs and hugs her husband from behind. A big old family hug. Toshinori then uh, struggles to get free. Once he is free, he hugs them in a giant bear hug in his buff form. Yes, he still has it, but he hasn't used much of his power when on his way here. So he has all, I say, 5 hours of um his power. His limit is 5 hours in this. Just because it still hurts like hell every time he buffs up because he doesn't have an organ. Hello, doesn't have one of his kidneys. Okay, how should I do this? The All Might goes into the living room, sees that there's a lot of people here, and he asks Izuku, son, are they your friends? Izuku then replies, yeah, Dad, they're my friends. They're also here because I trained them for 10 months for UA entrance exam. All Might's like, huh? Well, tell your friends I'll be a teacher there. Izuku's just like, wait, what? You're going to be a teacher there? I asked an old friend to have me teach there in hero course. I know all of you are going to get in 1A. He just starts laughing. Everyone's like confused and like, who is this guy? And they're like, wait, son? Dad? What? They look at him, then look at Izuku. Look at him, with Izuku. Like, huh? And then just like all of a sudden something clicks in their head. All Might! Like all simultaneously just yell, All Might! And then All Might just buffs up saying, I am here. and then it clicks in them. He said son. They all their heads you just hear a whoosh, and they all stare at Izuku. It's like, when were you going to tell us that your father is All Might? And they all yell at him at the exact same fucking time. I was just like, when the hell were you going to tell us that your father is All Might? When were you going to tell that you are the offspring of the symbol of peace, the #1 fucking hero? And then Ida just like, if he faints because he thought he was a part of a prestigious family, but no, he just like, you just hear a thud. Everyone turns around, sees Ida just pass out and muttering to himself in his sleep. He's like, Midori is part of. Midori is part of the prestigious family of heroes. Because he knew about Inko, her ranking, the top 9, the #9 hero. What would her hero name be? I'd say Hurricane. It's easy, and probably people's already come up with it as well. So yeah, might as well say Hurricane. Cause she rock you like a hurricane. She definitely rocks some fan clubs about some fans of her like a hurricane. Cause she hot Inko in this. She the hot Inko. um All right, entrance exam. All Might already gives them like good luck on the entrance exam. And the recommendations, because he knows that everyone here, since they were personally trained by his son, then yeah, there we go. They're just gonna be just fine. Um, at the entrance, he doesn't trip because fuck no, why would he fucking trip? He's like the most confident person in the world since his father is the number one hero, but he's not cocky about it, which is a good thing. He's I'd say he's arrogant, but he's not cocky. He, no, he's more like Escanor in the sense that he's prideful, that he has this reputation to uphold, and he knows he can back it up with the power he has. All Might um Toshinori actually does talk to him in private about him being quirkless and all that, and saying that he was quirkless once and would like to pass off one for all to him. Izuku then says, "You already gave it to me." All Might Toshinori being like, "What? Elaborate, please." Uh, son, could you please elaborate that, please? Please elaborate, because you're not making any sense. Izuku then explains, "Well, don't you feel slightly weaker?" All Might then thinks about it and says, "Yes, I have noticed that my full power has gone down slightly. I met with David so he could check my quirk readings. Apparently, I've lost 5% of my full strength." Huh. Well, I'm the reason. Huh. Well, I'm the reason for that. Toshinori obviously is not like how you are quirkless. And then Izuku says, let's just say that. Well, no, he doesn't say anything. He just asks, well, is One for All detectable by quirk software that's not as advanced as Island's technology? Toshinori then thinks about it and says, I believe it's not. So you're saying you've got 5% of One for All inside of you? Izuku says, not necessarily. Yes and no. Explain. 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 That, how's the best say I can describe this? Um, you just told me that One for All can stockpile power through generations, correct? Toshinori nods. Yes, I did say that. And then Izuku says, and I already have 5% of One for All. Toshinori's like, and Izuku then replies, I I was born with the second One for All. That allows me to not only siphon energy, but also take. Not only can I use 5%, but I can also siphon energy, the quirk energy from others to gain their quirks and get my percentage up higher. Yes, it also gives him a higher percentage. I didn't tell you that, but it does. um Izuku then says, well, at the moment I believe I'm around 45% of One for All. Like it's the same percentage as Toshinori. It's not double. It's the same percentage. Um I'd say that Toshinori is surprised and excited that he gets to keep his quirk for right now, at the moment at least. And then he asks Izuku, how did he how many quirks did he stockpile into himself? Uh, Izuku replies that he has like around 30 different quirks because he makes a perfect copy of him, and he can train him a lot quicker. So he's like, I think around at least 30, over 30 at least. So yeah. Okay, let's quickly go ahead. Go ahead. The entries. Let's quickly move on since I'm just rambling right now. Move on to the entrance exam. The test, the written test, he aces. Momo is literally like 1 point behind him. Um, well, actually, a lot of people are like right behind Momo. Todoroki's behind Momo. Katsuki is behind Ida, and so on and so forth. Uraraka is top 5. Um, Back into the present might explaining everything. Ida does not do the thing he did. He does not do that. He does not complain about talking or anything. He don't have that ruler stuck up his ass as far because he's a lot calmer in this and not as agitated and ready to do that karate chop hand thing that he does so well. To the gate of the entrance exam. When the gate opens fully, Izuku, Ida, Uraraka, and I'd say the mystery girl that I have not told you the identity of yet, all just run straight through the gate. Izuku not even using any of his speed quirks that he has copied. He's just using his 30% of full cowling that he has. Yes, it's still full cowling. He still has one for all. But unlike his cannon self, it doesn't show lightning. If he wants it to, he can go above his limits to show off the power that's going through his veins. But it's not really happening outside. He's just that fast. Um, Ida, Uraraka, and the mystery girl all team up because their quirks help each other. They're helping each other out, defeat robots together as a team, defeating a lot more robots than they would in canon. Um, they're like already like 30 points ahead of the pack. Izuku's like already like 50 points ahead of the rest of everyone because he's the fastest of all of them. So yeah, he already got to the robots quicker, but he went straight for the 3 pointers. Like he's already destroyed like so many 3 pointers. Um, um, President Mike says, "What are you waiting for? Follow them. There's no countdown in a battle." Yeah, and he just and everyone else just finally tries to catch up with them, which is pretty much impossible. Um, Izuku, on the other hand, is like being an actual hero. Like he's already destroyed like so many villains. Like he already got so many villain points. I say like he already got like around 100 and something. He already got like 160 hero and rescue points combined. Rescue and villain points, hero and villain points combined, like 160 something. Because he's already saved a few people from their own downfall from biting more than they can chew and all that. Then he sees that Uraraka is about to get squished by some rubble, and he's like, yeah, nah, I'm not doing that. And you know what he does? You know what he does? He uses his mother's quirk this time. Yeah, he used the telekinesis. Uh, the psychokinesis. I said psychokinesis, correct? If I said telekinesis, it's psychokinesis. That's literally what he does. He's like, help has arrived. He like telepathically communicates with Uraraka. It's like, help has arrived because she already like you trying to use her quirk to stop the robot and stuff, so she can help herself and all that. But yeah, um, Izuku using I'd say 35% of what he has, and he just like completely and utterly just like just zooms right there. You just see this like green blur just zoom right to where Uraraka is. He just like appears like right beside her using his psychokinesis. He can literally he just crushes the rubble into he doesn't crush it. He just like shapes it into a like very very jagged javelin. You know those types of javelins that has like metal shards in it that dig like teeth that dig into whatever it's cutting into. Yeah, like shark teeth. Shark teeth really are like knives if you think about it. Yeah, he makes it like a javelin. It drops in his hand, and you know what he does? He uses all 45% that he can control at with ease, and just tosses it right at the zero pointer, directly through its chest, tearing off wires, cutting it, and making oil slip, like cutting all of its circuits and stuff. You know, making a big gory mess. Ever seen like a human doing it? It'd be like cutting tendons, cutting nerves and all that, cutting everything. And you know what he does? He picks up or like a bridal style and just starts walking away slowly from the robot because he knows in 5, 4, 3. He just slowly counts 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then as he's counting one, he uses Momo's quirk to create sunglasses on his face. Like it just literally comes out of his face, and it's just like, yeah. And Uraraka is just like, my God, I want to have you right now. Take me now. You know, being like that thirsty thought is like, take me now, daddy. She thirsty one right now. She very thirsty. She very thirsty. Everyone in all the teachers in the auditorium is just like, what the fuck is this kid's quirk? Like, what the fuck? Because only a few people know who he is. Actually, it's Nezu, Aizawa, I'd say Midnight as well, because Midnight and Toshinori had something in a little fling in high school. I'd say they're close enough that they're friends again. But yeah. Also, there's a few other pros there just so they can watch over if before something happens. Like Mount Lady, also Commonwealth Woods. I'd say Power Loader. Uh, Even Kota's parents are there. The Water Hose Heroes. Yeah, they're there as well, with Kota watching the show, which is just like wow. Kota has sparkles in his eyes, like he's so fucking cool. He's like, oh, big bro is so cool. He's already calling him big bro, like Kanahamaru to Naruto. Yeah, it's fucking funny. Um, Ida and the Mystery Girl are just Ida's like impressed on what Izuku just did because he already knows that Izuku has like this copy quirk, which is enhancement copy quirk, which is like the most overpowered thing he's ever witnessed. Because he's already seen him copy his quirk several times, use his quirk several times, because that's how he helped everyone. He copied their quirks and helped them practice with it. I mean, Jesus. Plus, One for All acts like a battery, so his Momo's quirk, he can literally use his percentage that he built up to make stuff. It barely takes anything out of him. But he only made sunglasses just so he could just do that, and he's just like, yeah, I fucking look badass. Oh my! His father in the auditorium just like, oh my God, this kid's so cocky. But he says that with his hands on his face, but he has like this big grin on his face. He's like, he just got this big like happy grin on his face while he's like trying to act like he's like, oh my kid's just so fucking cocky, so arrogant and stuff. He's trying to play it off, but all the people in the know are looking at him and just giving him this sly grin. He's just like, yeah, that's definitely your son, all right. Gran Torino's also there, and he's just like, Hmm. I wonder, did Toshinori give him one for all, or is it his own? Because Gran Torino hasn't got the explanation from All Might yet at the moment. I said, did I say something like Gran Torino? If I said something different, that's what I meant. Um, what should we do? Oh yeah, let's start with the first episode, like the first day of UA. Izuku, you know what? He just teleports. He doesn't fucking care anymore. He's just like, yeah, he's at home. He's just like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep in a little bit. He sleeps in. It's like not even 15 minutes before class starts. So he's just like, oh yeah. He goes in, takes a quick shower completely, and just, he takes a quick shower. He takes a very quick shower, just washing all the important places, his hair, his armpits, and the little his twig and berries. He gets out, gets dressed, puts on his uniform, goes out, sees his mom still there. He's just like, she hands him some breakfast. He eats right then and there. It's like, because they're still living in the mansion, which is like way far away from this actual city and where UA is. And she's like, "How are you going to get there so quickly?" And he's like this. He snaps his fingers and he just disappears from her vision. It's like, what? What did he teleport? Oh man, I'm envious that he has a teleportation quirk. And then she just goes to work while the butlers and everyone is just like, young master is very, very, very talented. They're just like nodding their heads in improvement, just like, yes, he's very talented. He teleports directly in front of um class 1A's door. Um he's also uh he also just walks in just casually. He casually just walks in and then he notices Aizawa under the podium and he's just like, oh, well then. Well, well then. He just goes there and he just sits down being all quiet and stuff. He just relaxing, puts like an earbud in so he can listen to some music. Um Then here comes the mysterious girl, saying, "Come on, Izuku, can't we come on, Izuku, I want you to look at me. Come on, look at me. I want to know how do I look today? How do I look? How do I look?" He turns around and sees Toru Hagakure. Yes, the invisible bitch. Yeah, the invisible bitch. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's who the mysterious girl is. Yeah, 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 yeah. And this, like, and a lot of other what ifs that I've seen, yes, Izuku can't see her, mainly because he has her quirk and he knows how it works to a certain degree. She's literally just absorbing all the light and reflecting UV lights off of her. So yeah, that's literally how her quirks work. It's literally just light refraction, which is quite overpowered if you do say something myself. Because now he has a perfect cloak. He has a perfect cloak that can mask his entire presence from the outside world, from cameras, from he can even extend it off like having like a little barrier around him that extends to his clothes, which now she don't have to be naked, which he trained her. And right now she's still invisible because she doesn't want to show everyone else how she looks, because she only wants to show Yuzuku how she looks because he's the only one that can see her with without her, reflecting light off of her. So yeah, yeah. She's like just wanting him to look at her because she does now try to turn off her quirk when she's like getting ready, because she can't really see herself in the mirror because, well, there's nothing to reflect. So yeah. They're talking and all that. She's just like gushing over him because she is practically infatuated with him because A, he could see her before he copied her quirk, and B, he helped her train her quirk to an extent that she can now be seen by her parents. Since that's been like, I don't know, ever since she was born, she can't be seen, if I'm not mistaken. Well, in this, that's how it works. She was born with a mutation, an emitter. That's what it is. Um, Aizawa wakes up and says, so you guys are quiet down. Great. Put these on and meet me outside. Izuku automatically just uh, uh, grabs Hagakure and just teleports directly toward the locker rooms. Everyone's there in the class is like, oh my fucking god. That know him are just like, he's already choosing another one. The girls already know that he's going to have a harem. All Might, he already told All Might that he's like his dad that he's. I plan on having a harem. All Might just like, let's just say did a spit take. What now? What now? Yeah, he was like, what now? My son's going to have a harem, and then Inka was just like, as long as you're happy, being the kind mama she is. It's like Toshinori's just like, can you handle more than one? He thinks about it and says, "Of course you can. Yeah, you can handle. You're going to be perfectly fine." Inko, on the other hand, is just like, just don't meet someone crazy. Foreshadow. That's a foreshadow if you don't understand. Yeah. Mm. Izuku's already at the locker rooms. He gets you know what he does? He takes a shower before he does anything because he didn't really get a good shower when he woke up. So he's just like, yeah, I might as well take a shower. He takes a shower. Let's just say the girls are peeping on him this time. It ain't Mineta, it's the girls that peeping on him. And he's talking to himself out loud because he wants them to hear it because he knows that they're watching. Plus, Jiro is there, so he knows that she can relay everything he's saying to them. So he's just like, yeah, this warm shower feels so good. It'd be a lot better if I had some company with me. The female variety. Mm. Being all like smug and stuff because he's like grinning ear to ear. He has his back turned. They can see his back. That's the only thing they can see at the moment, and they can see how toned his body is. And he's like, they have a nosebleed, like that anime trope where instead of getting wet or boner, they just like bleed nose and they're drooling as well, and just like he literally he turns his head slightly to the side, looks at them, like directly stares into their eyes and their souls, and they're like their hearts skip a beat, and he winks. He uses that eye that he sees them with and winks. That very instant, every girl there just completely collapses and is like, like in this dream like haze. Yeah. Back. Let's go to after he takes a shower, he gets starts getting dressed, but everyone else has just arrived, and they're like, "Why did you take a shower?" Because I slept in, and they're like, "Wait, you slept in and you got here this quick?" I have a teleportation if you can't already tell. I can teleport if you can't already tell. Oh, oh. And then Kirishima sees his build and is just like, dude, what's your workout? Just the normal stuff. I just work out every muscle fiber. I just work out every group in my body. Nothing too serious. I just work out. But how hard do you work out? Not that hard. I know when to take a break because, and then he whispers in Kirishima's ear, bro. Let me tell you something. My quirk allows me to get at least double the work without the effort, with minimal effort. Kirishima's just like, dude, that's so manly. Dude, that's so manly. Yes, I'm allowing him to do that since his body already trains his quirks like twice as fast as normal. His body trains as fast as normal. Yeah, yeah. Okay, back to the ball throw in the test. Izuku Aizawa throws a ball to him and says, "Use your full power." He's like, "Okay, I'll do it. I'll use all 45%." And then he controls it, and then I'd say right now he's also using his his zero gravity and psychokinesis quirk, so he can like keep gaining momentum on the ball. Like it still has momentum because it doesn't have any weight anymore, so it's going to go into outer space. He did it subtly, like very very subtly. Plus, he doesn't have that same downside to his zero gravity quirk as Uraraka, where she has her if she just touches it completely with all five fingers. Well, that's just that thing is just going to float away. Unlike unlike her, he can control it, like turn it off and on, and he can also put it on one finger if he really wanted to. He gets infinity. He gets first place in pretty much everything except for the ball throw because he can't really they tied. Um, Ida is second place. Well, no, it's Izuku. Then it's Todoroki, Katsuki, Momo, Ida, and Uraraka. Toru, and guess who's last? The pervy Mineta. And then he walks over to Mineta and says, "Well, this is retribution, isn't it?" Because he did catch him peeping on the girls. He just like, "Well, this is retribution, isn't it?" Aizawa then says, uh, "Mineta, pack your things. You're leaving." Mineta is just like, "What? You were serious?" Momo then was like, "Wait, you were serious?" And then Izuku was like, "Yeah, he was serious. Did you not understand that?" He this little grapevine, this little ball of grapevine, this grapevine over here is the only one that isn't excelling in everything. So yeah, he's the odd one out. Plus, he's very open with his pervertedness, which is not very healthy. Was not very healthy for us. I say very not. I say that because well, his perverted comments will get on their nerves, but mostly it just make their minds think of perverted things. That's why he's annoying. It's because he points out the very perverted things that they don't want to think about at the moment. Which they're all in high school. They're all having those hormones act up. Of course, that's going to happen. And then he activates his mental link with Aizawa and says, "Good. Now we don't have to deal with him making those perverted comments I don't know every time something remotely perverted happens." Let's say that they go home again. They go back home. Uh, Izuku's being followed by someone. It's Toru, and she's completely naked right now. He knows she's following him. Besides from her besides from him seeing her, he can also sense her energy since he's already copied her quirk. So it's just like, oh, so she's following me. Great. And he catches a glimpse of her, but he doesn't like directly look at her because she's trying to hide. She's trying to be sneaky because she knows she can see him. He can see her, so she's trying to be very very sneaky. He turns around saying, like, I thought I felt someone's presence. Nah, it could be nothing. And then he just walks home. I say walks home, but he doesn't walk home. He walks into his little secret apartment that he made, he didn't make it. He just bought it, like a little condo that he could just stay for, uh, you know, doing business, doing the business. He goes in. He leaves the door unlocked. Toru opens it, like, oh, he left it unlocked. Did he expect company? Because she's like, she doesn't realize that he knew it was her, so he's just like, hmm. He goes to the shower, takes a shower, goes to his room, closes it. Toru follows him because he left the door open. Then once she entered, he closes it again and then just tackled her onto bed. And then, well, let's just say they had a very romantic night, a very willing night as well, because she's the one who's following him, so she got to have wanted something, and she got what she wanted. Let's just say that. Okay, I'm gonna end it here and just do the battle training next episode. So see ya.